yo, I'm awake. And we got back late, which does not really work well with a baby. Oh, they redid they painted the house. I was wondering why it looked different. I have spent the last week listening to other people talk about themselves non-stop. And if they weren't talking about themselves, they were talking about their kids for a fucking week. And I tried multiple times to like talk about other things. You know, I was like, oh, I'm taking a class. No one asked. No one cared. They just went right back to talking about themselves. It's shocking. Like, after I spend time with Jackson's family, I totally understand why he is the way that he is. Because if you spent your whole life around your mom, who was just always talking shit about everyone, and then your dad, who like literally did the same thing, you would just be fucked. Like, he's just fucked. He's fucked. I mean, I can't even put into like words exactly. Like, it hit me last night. I was like, wow, we were there for 5 days, and basically that was all we talked about was them. There were several points when like I could have been like, oh, like my brother just started a job and I just remembered it because I've been filled with all of their information for days, and I'm just like, oh, cool. I could have mentioned that my brother just started a job, you know? But like, they are so obsessed with themselves. So it's just like, I don't know. I guess I understand why Jackson really wants to go and have a good time with his family when they invite him to stuff, because I can just tell by how much effort they put into things that like it is rare for them to have a good time together. So they really like cherish those memories. They're trying to like rewrite in the file, you know, and make it be like, see, that was good. See, we're nice, we're good. And when you sit back, I mean, I can't do anything with like sitting and thinking about it and being like, how did that work? Did I like that? Did I not like that? Did I hate that? Like, how am I feeling about myself and these people after spending time with them? Like, would I want to spend more time with them? No. And I told Jackson as much when I saw them all at Christmas. I was like, I never want to see these fucking people again. They're all just so fucking rude. The only person in 6 months who has made any noticeable progress is the last person that I thought would have, which is his sister. She's actually gotten a job. A manual labor type of job. Wow, okay. So maybe she's not super obsessed with herself. Okay. Well, we'll see. Okay. But everyone else, bunch of little fucking shits. Jackson barely graduated college. His brother just graduated college, and they're both just on a bender being little shits. We went to the museum, or the aquarium yesterday for some fucking reason. The day before, you know, like we're supposed to fly at like 6 o'clock. So Jackson, being the genius that he is, agrees to go to the aquarium with his brother. And my child falls asleep right away. And I say right away, it's probably time for us to go. And instead of Jackson listening to me, he just decides to have me walk around behind him and his brother while we look at the aquarium. Or while they look at the aquarium. Sorry, I wasn't really looking at much because I was carrying my daughter in my arms for like 2 hours. And I don't know about any of you. Most of your workouts are not 2 hours long. Most of your workouts are like 15 minutes to a half hour. So crazy as shit to me to see people, and when I say people, I mean like men. I know Matt or Jackson would not be able to carry 30 pounds around for 2 hours. I just know that they wouldn't. I passed Brooke to Jackson for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, he passed her right back. Not even thinking in his head, hey, you've been holding her for like because she fell asleep, on the first flight, because of course, you'd have 2 flights back home. So I was just holding her. So, like, I ended up holding her throughout the day, probably like 5 hours out of the day. Maybe, I mean, I'm probably underestimating it. And, like, my guns, ooh, you're definitely looking good. But, like,